Back here on the Locker Room Report, I'm Brady Beedon, joined once again by Coach Winters. Coach, before we get to this week, let's start with last week. Probably one of the tougher losses you've ever had to go through. Kids played really well, it's a game of inches and you came up just a bit short. I know one of your big things is taking the positives out of negatives. What are some of the positives you took out of week one against Slippery Rock?
Well, I thought we played hard. I thought we played for 60 minutes, I think that people look at the game and maybe see different things than I did, but I thought defensively we were at times dominant, good pass rush. We just did everything for the most part right. But what happens is you miss 2 field goals, an extra point, and you don't score on the inside the 5-yard line, you lose the game. And I'm asked the question, do you grade yourself an A or an F? And it's like, well, I'm 1 play away from an A, but it was I guess a 4-question, test, and I failed the last question, so.
Yeah, I mean, a tough team with Slippery Rock. They were ranked 5th coming into the game. It's got to be a little promising considering what that game was like a couple years ago to know that you were just a few feet away from that win. What are some of the points of emphasis you've had this week in practice with some of your players?
Well, just finishing. That's number one. We're working on the goal line stuff so that we can be better from a defensive standpoint. Correcting the errors we made on defense, like giving up a deep ball. By the way, we did make the Sports Center number 2 play, which doesn't make me happy at all. But, we just really look at the errors that we made and fix them.
Truman State comes in, from going down there a couple years ago. That's a long bus ride. Going to be a 1 p.m. game. It's going to be hot out. What are some of the things you're preparing for with the Bulldogs?
They're a well-coached football team. They're very disciplined, and I think they showed that last week against Davenport. We're preparing to play hard because we want to match their intensity and their effort, and we also want to match their discipline. We feel like our football team, we can compete against anybody, so if we do those things, we'll have a really good plan against them.
Playing at 1 p.m. in September, usually Tom Adams Field, you get the night games earlier in the year. You're preparing any different, maybe a little more focus on hydration here with a hot September game coming up?
No, I think we'll just run more reminders. No. It's going to be warm and it's going to be sunny. We're going to practice hard, and I think later in the week we will do the hydration thing, make sure that we're prepared for the game. But I don't see that being a major factor. I think they felt like they wore Davenport out playing at 1 o'clock. I don't think anybody's going to wear us out.
Last week we talked about some guys you wanted to see step up. From week 1, who did you see step up, and who do you want to see continue or maybe take another step forward in week 2?
Oh, gosh. That's a good question. Some guys have stepped up, I think, from an offensive standpoint. Guys who hadn't done it in the past was Avery Hall. Avery played extremely well, was very proud of him. Myron Harris, who's a redshirt freshman, and Kendall Williams. Those 3 guys stepped up and have never really had an opportunity, so that was big. I think that from a standpoint defensively, most of the same names that you always hear stood out and played extremely well. I think Charles Ellington, Jalen Lewis was really good. But Chavez Hawkins was a new safety for us, and he came in and really downed the football most of the time, so we were happy with that.
Simply, how much fun was it just to be out there with a football game? I know the result didn't go the way you had, but with a full house, just how much fun was it having a real-life football game after such a long wait?
It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. I mean, it was fun. It was competitive. Our guys were into it. They were having fun. I think it's probably the most fun that most of our guys have had in a game, and especially a game that we end up coming up short. The attitude since then has been great. The guys are excited, and they feel good about themselves and about playing football again.
Was it hard to kind of get back into that game day routine after such a long wait, or was it just like riding a bike?
It's probably just like riding a bike. It's one of those things. We're doing our warrior walk, and we're walking across the bridge, and we're walking over to Manugian, and we're walking back over here. And it was just an exciting thing that we were out in the real world without masks, just enjoying life.
How much of a difference does it make when there's a full house here at Tom Adams Field?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference because you can hear it, you can feel it. But I will be honest with you, I don't hear it or feel it. I don't notice it. So when you say full house, I was thinking it was. but I think the players respond really well to the crowd, and it's nothing like playing at home.
Coach, thank you very much for your time. Good luck against Truman.
Hey, thank you for your time.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I've been Brady Beedon with the Locker Room Report here on WDTK, The Patriot.